Welcome back to the Spider Talk live news show. For those of you who are new around here, make sure you're subscribed for weekly Spider-Man news. Obviously, it's a Monday. We usually stream on the Sunday. The Tuesday. Sunday? Do we stream on the Sunday? No, we stream on the Tuesday. But we're streaming on the Monday today because tomorrow is my girlfriend's birthday. So obviously I'm not going to be around. I like your video. Thank you very much, Louis. I appreciate that. But anyway, today, as you can see on the new graphic that we have got today's topics on the left-hand side of your screen, right? And today's topics are the following. Sydney Sweeney roasts Madam Web. Andrew Garfield is coming back, potentially. Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man episode release and length news. We've got Spider-Man showrunner calls out Spider-Verse films. We've got Sony and Marvel reach agreement on MCU Spider-Man 4. That's a really big piece of news that I can't wait to talk about because... Hi, Scott. How you doing? I really, really want to talk about that. That's going to be good. MCU Spider-Man 4 release date. That's also another big topic that we need to cover today. Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 4 might be coming back, which is, big news as well. Venom 3 set photos. That's also quite big. And animated Spider-Man team-up film apparently is on the horizon as well, with a villain team-up film coming down the line. So we've got plenty to talk about today. A lot of stuff has come out. Let's get straight into it. I want him to come back. It says Inos. Yeah, I mean, I do as well. I think everyone wants him to come back. But either way, let's get straight into this. So, I want to hear what you guys think throughout the video as well. Garfield is coming back, says Mesoman. Well, we have got news on this, and this is what we're going to get into. But first, Sydney Sweeney cooks Madam Web. I thought this was really funny. So, a big piece of, not big, but quick piece of news before we get into the juicy stuff with Andrew Garfield, which you guys aren't going to want to miss. Basically, Sydney Sweeney did a bit for, I think it was it SNL or something, and she basically was like, "Oh, you may have seen me in my new film, that rom-com. I've even seen the film. What's it called? Anyone But You. And you might have seen me in Euphoria." And then she goes, "Definitely haven't seen me in Madam Web," and it was really funny. But just proving that even the actors know that now, obviously, the promotion for Madam Web is over. The movie is absolutely god-awful. So, yeah. Hi, Maria. How are we doing? Trickster May, how we doing? Spartan, how are we all doing? So, yeah. So, let's move on then to Andrew Garfield coming back to play Spider-Man. This is a big piece of news. This comes in from the Cosmic Circus, aka Alex Perez. Now, yes, this is a leak, and I know some people aren't very... some people don't like leaks, but the Cosmic Circus, aka Alex Perez, I consider, at least in my opinion, to be one of the more reliable leakers in the community. If you don't know, his track record is basically he got the whole plot of Madam Web spot on. He's the one that leaked the castings. He's the one that leaked the characters. He's the one that leaked the plot. He's the one that leaked everything about the Uncle Ben, the Mary Parker connections and stuff. He is the one that leaked all of that. So the Cosmic Circus, very, very reliable in my opinion. And he has now said, when asked on Twitter, he was talking about Spider-Man, when he was asked if the Amazing Spider-Man 3 could happen, he said probably not. Right? Which, you're probably thinking, Lewis, you've put Andrew Garfield is coming back in the thumbnail, in the title, you've got it on your topics list. What do you mean TASM 3 isn't happening? What he said was the Amazing Spider-Man 3 isn't happening. However, a continuation of Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man story is 100% happening. Now, he has got a good reputation, right? So... he has got a very, very good reputation in the community. He's got a lot of things right. I consider him to be one of the more reliable leakers. And he has said that it's 100% happening. Now, for someone to say that it's 100% happening is big. Because they're riding the whole reputation on this, right? So, TASM 3, according to Alex Perez, isn't happening. But a continuation of Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man story is. Now, what could this be, you asked? Well, Dave says, where is this from? Alex Perez, the Cosmic Circus. Yeah, I thought as much. He definitely is going to play a role in Secret Wars or along with Toby. Hi, Ravenous Puncher, how are we doing? So, how would this happen? Where is Andrew Garfield going to appear? If a continuation is 100% happening, we're most likely looking at a continuation happening in Venom 3, Avengers Secret Wars, or somewhere in the Sonyverse. It's a shame that we won't be getting the Amazing Spider-Man 3, but it's a very, what could you call it? It's very promising that he is saying that it's 100% coming. He's 100% going to be coming back in some form or another. I think the most likely one of all of these is probably Avengers Secret Wars. only because we know that they're probably going to be bringing every Marvel character, but at least he is coming back. And this is something that, you know, leakers don't usually say 100%. So this is why this is big news, right? I highly doubt he's going to get TASM 3 or Venom 3 appearance. Venom 3, more unlikely, but Maria says I'd be crying my heart out if Tobey Maguire returned for Spider-Man 4. Taking notes for next video, says Slightly Spider. Let's go. How long have you been on for? Only a few minutes, actually. 24 bricks. And welcome to the stream. I think Sony should be sued for lying to actors like Dakota and Sydney. They lied to them saying Madam Web was a part of the MCU. Yeah, there was a very big scandal. I think that will definitely come back on itself at some point in the near future. That's cool. I can't wait for these movies, says Steven. Yeah, so big news there. Andrew Garfield is going to be coming back. 100%, according to Alex Perez, which is interesting. And I think it does show as well that Sony are pushing for this. We know that Andrew Garfield contract rumors were happening way after No Way Home came out. And then obviously TASM 3 rumors, and then Venom 3 rumors, and then Madam Web rumors, and then everything with Andrew Garfield rumors. I think there's got to be some connection here. And Alex Perez saying that 100% his story is going to be continued. I think this is definitely a big part of this ongoing negotiation, which seems to be happening with Andrew Garfield. But either way, that's big. That's the big news. Let's move on then. So, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man episode release and length. Now, this is also still a rumor. This comes in from Can We Get Toast? Now, Can We Get Toast? I don't know. Alex Perez, very reliable. I trust many things that Alex Perez says. And Alex Perez is one of those leakers where if he says something, I'm gonna more than likely take it as gospel, only because of how reliable he is. But obviously, still a rumor. Can We Get Toast? He is a leaker, and I think he has got a few things right, but, not as many things as Alex Perez. So, yeah, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Episode release and length. This is coming in from Can We Get Toast. Apparently, there are going to be 10 episodes of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, all spanning 30 minutes long, which means we are going to be getting 300 minutes of Spider-Man content from Marvel Animation on Disney Plus when Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man does release later this year. And that is apparent. That is the rumor. 10 episodes, 30 minutes in length. Now, this could change, obviously. As we know, things ebb and flow. Disney might compile some of the episodes. There might be 8 episodes with longer runtimes. Who knows? We don't know yet. No, it's a bit random, but a few weeks ago, on the 10th of February, marked my 1-year anniversary of being a LewisFilms member, and I can confidently say that being a member has been a great experience. I'm so happy we've become one. 100% recommend a member over the past year, and it's been a great experience. Thank you very much, 24 Breaks. I do appreciate that. Obviously, become a member for the channel, and yeah, you've been awesome over the last year, and obviously, I'm glad you had a good experience. I grew up with Tobey Maguire, and it's all thanks to my mum. RIP, I miss her so much. Oh, rest in peace, Maria. Yeah, I mean, Tobey Maguire impacted so many lives. I hope we get a new writer for the Spider-Man comics. Me too. Obviously, reporting on Spider-Man comics news when that does drop as well. Spider-Man 3, TASM 3, in my opinion, will be setting up the Spider Society. TASM 3 won't be happening, though. This is the issue. Andrew Garfield should return in a movie called Spider-Man, where we focus on Peter and Miles, so it doesn't have to be an amazing Spider-Man movie, but still be a Spider-Man movie. That's a very good point, actually. Potentially, maybe TASM 3 isn't happening, right? According to Alex Perez. But maybe he returns in a Spider-Man movie with Miles Morales. Who knows? I'm a bit nervous for Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I don't trust Marvel as much at the minute. Very good point. Very good point. I love you, Lewis, says Slightly Spider. I love you too. Price says, I'm looking forward to see Andrew Garfield return as Spider-Man along with Tobey Maguire. Yes, Tobey Maguire as well is most likely going to be coming back. But yeah, that's it for Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Apparently, that is the length of the episodes. And that is really good because I think 30-minute episodes are the right length. 20-minute, maybe a little bit too short. But then again, Spectacular Spider-Man was 20 minutes. Yeah, it's fine. I like it. So let's move on to Spider-Man showrunner calls out the Spider-Verse films. Now, this is very interesting. I want to get your guys' thoughts on this. So basically, if you guys don't know, John Semper Jr., who worked on the 90s animated Spider-Man show, calls out the Spider-Verse films for not crediting him because he created the Spider-Verse concept in the 90s. Now, what are you guys' thoughts on this, right? Does he have a right to call out? I'm going to do a poll, actually. Does he have a right to call out the Spider-Verse films? Should have John Semper Jr. being credited for the Spider-Verse concept in the films? That's the poll. Because basically the situation is, he hasn't been credited in the Spider-Verse films. When he came up with the concept of the Spider-Verse in the 90s show. Remember, the Spider-Verse wasn't a thing before the 90s show. After the 90s show, we had characters like Morlun coming in. We had Shattered Dimensions, the game, which we know Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions is then based off the 90s show. And then we had Spider-Man Edge of Time, which is based off Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions. We then had the Spider-Verse comics, which were then based off, obviously, Shattered Dimensions and the 90s show. We then obviously had the Spider-Verse movies, which are obviously adaptations of the Spider-Verse comics. So it all comes full circle. He created the concept, but should he be credited? He's come out and said he should be. So I don't know, will he be credited beyond the Spider-Verse? Thanks, Lewis, though I'm curious to know who's going to be the main villain in Spider-Man 4. Are we talking about MCU or Raimi's, Maria? If it's Sam Raimi's, I'm not too sure. I don't care. I want Timothy as MCU Harry Osborn. I don't care how they fit them in. Dune 2 is amazing. That could be cool. Didn't they adapt the Spider-Verse from the comics, though? Yeah, but the concept of the Spider-Verse was... It's a thing because of the 90s show. If the 90s show didn't exist, the Spider-Verse... Well, the Spider-Verse would have existed eventually. Obviously, it was inevitable to happen, but I don't think the Spider-Verse wouldn't be where it's at now. We definitely wouldn't have the Spider-Verse films that we have today without the 90s show. Yes, he should have been credited, but shouldn't have called them out. That's fair enough. I'm the only one that doesn't want Toby and Andrew and Tom to share the screen again. It should just be a one-time thing because it felt like an event. That's a very good point. And we're actually going to come on to this now. So this is also really, really big news. Really, really big news. And you guys are going to want to hear this, right? Because this has been going on. We talked about this last week. Sony and Marvel reach an agreement for MCU Spider-Man 4. Now, if you guys don't know what's going on, essentially, the Tom Holland 4th Spider-Man film has been back and forth between Sony and Marvel for the past few weeks. And what is going on? Essentially, Sony, on one hand, want the film to be about the multiverse, right? Obviously, Spider-Man No Way Home did really, really well. And now Sony want it to be a part of the multiverse again. Because, I mean, it almost made $2 billion. Why wouldn't you want a very successful movie? You know, why wouldn't you want to follow up on it, right? Makes sense for a financial level. However, Marvel, on the other hand, Kevin Feige and Tom Holland specifically, have been said to have wanted the film to be street level. So, including stuff from the Echo series, Daredevil, connecting it to Kingpin, and stuff like that, right? Hawkeye, all that stuff. It's going to be in that realm of the MCU. Well, here's the thing. Apparently, according to, once again, Alex Perez, Cosmic Circus, according to Alex Perez, apparently, they have come to an agreement, right? They have come to an agreement. We're going to end this poll here. Most of you said yes. I'm going to do another poll, right? Okay. Should MCU Spider-Man 4 be street level or multiverse? And I think I know which one is going to win, but just on the off chance, I'm going to put a poll out for you guys to vote on. Apparently, they've come to an agreement. Apparently, what is going on now is they have come to an agreement where MCU Spider-Man 4 is going to be a multiversal street level story. Now, that sounds really stupid. Hi, Super Warrior. How are we doing? Sounds really stupid, right? But apparently, what they are planning on doing is coming to almost a standstill. They are going to be doing a street-level multiverse movie. How that's going to work, I don't know. But they're going to include elements from both the street-level MCU stuff. So, Daredevil, Echo, Kingpin, that stuff. They're going to include elements from that. And they're going to include elements from the multiverse. So, Toby, Andrew, Miles, whatever they do, right? This is what they've come to an agreement on, according to Alex Perez, right? Could end up changing, obviously, from now because the film hasn't even started shooting. So, hi, Protocol, how are we doing? But this is what's going on. Spider-Man 4, no matter what happens, is going to be a mess. I don't want it to be, but it's not going to end up good, says 24 Bricks. And I do completely agree. What I think will happen is Sony will win making a Spider-Verse film with Toby and Andrew, but Tom won't come back. That could, I mean, I want a new director, says Ravenous Puncher. Yeah. So, this is what's happening, right? And how could they do this? So, I mean, I think the best case scenario, if this ends up being the case, is the film is completely street level, but then the post-credit scene leads into something more multiverse related, i.e. Kang Dynasty, i.e. Secret Wars, i.e. maybe even MCU Spider-Man 5 that is a multiverse movie, right? So maybe that's the best case scenario. However, I think what it's more likely to be is maybe potentially something along the lines of Into the Spider-Verse, where Kingpin will be probably maybe the main villain or one of the main villains of the film, and he will maybe somehow, maybe they'll follow Into the Spider-Verse footsteps and maybe have Kingpin have some influence. Maybe like the 90s show once again, where the 90s show had Kingpin involved in multiverse stuff as well with Spider Carnage and stuff. And then he'll somehow create a multiverse device and then that'll bring stuff in. Maybe that's the way they're going with it. I'm just trying to think of ways. It's 100% street level. That's mental. Oh my God. 100% street level. Okay. So we're going to end that poll there, and I'm going to do another poll for you guys, right? Okay, let's start this. Okay, so are you happy with MCU Spider-Man 4 being a mix of both street level and multiverse? Okay, that's the new poll. Because I'm not very happy about that, but you know, if it's the compromise we have to go through, then Andrew Garfield easily fixes Sony's Spider-Man-less issues, says Phoenix. Yeah, he does. Yeah. Lewis, I have an idea what could happen in Beyond the Spider-Verse. Maybe a bunch of versions of Miles show up. Yeah, I think that's definitely a possibility. I hear a lot of people saying that we never had street-level Spider-Man movie in the MCU. Like, have you guys watched Homecoming? Well, I mean, street level, define street level. He wasn't really on his own. I think when people say street level, I think people mean on his own, in the streets, Spider-Man things from the comics, right? And then we get to see Miles in live action, says Phoenix. Exactly. The right answer is that we need MCU Spider-Man with Spider-Man characters only. That's what everyone wants. No one wants an MCU cameo fest either. Ravenous Puncher does make a very valid point. Yes, if done well, says Protocol. Now, this is the thing. If this is done really well, then this could be really good, right? If Toby and Andrew do come back, which I suppose a lot of us don't want them to, if it's done well, and I suppose this time they'll be in the trailers and stuff. If it's done well and it's done and Tom gets the majority of the movie, then I'm happy, right? I'm fine with that as a compromise. As a compromise. Do I think they should? No. But this is what's happening. A bit random, but we need true intentions too, says 24 Bricks. Oh, maybe one day. Maybe one day. I have really mixed feelings about this, says Scott. Yeah, I do as well. So this is the thing. I'm just curious as to what you guys think. Just tell me. Just plaster the chat with your thoughts. I really want to know what you guys think about this because this is I'm curious. This is big. This is big for Spider-Man. This is big for Spider-Man 4. This is big for Tom Holland. If they've come to an agreement, this is big. This is really, really big. But yeah, I just can't. I can't believe this is what. I don't know. Just I'm baffled. Yeah, so I don't even know what to say. Hopefully, best case scenario, we get the street level movie, but then the multiverse comes in at the end, maybe post-credit scene, maybe the end of the movie. That's the best case scenario, but that's where we stand right now. Let's move on to MCU Spider-Man 4 release date. Actually, I'm going to read some of the comments here. I would love it if Spider-Man 4 was completely grounded, but the end credit scene is meanwhile in another universe, and it's Andrew and Tobey in a multiversal buddy cop movie. That could be quite cool to lead into a multiverse thing. I really want Spider-Man 4 to be Defenders, Spider-Man, Echo, Kingpin, Kate Bishop, all coming together to making this street-level movie. Post-credit scene can set up a multiverse, I don't mind. I really like that Peter grew up in Far From Home. In Homecoming, he was asking for the attention, but in Far From Home, he stopped asking for the attention, and he had great growth. Fair enough. MCU also wants a multiverse for Spider-Man 4. Feige wants to set up Kang Dynasty before this. Where the hell is this news coming from that Feige wants street level? Feige wants to set up Kang Dynasty, but I think he wants to set up Kang Dynasty with the character of Spider-Man, through the character of Spider-Man. I don't think he wants to make the movie a multiversal movie, because the reports are coming out from Alex Perez, Daniel RPK, very reliable leakers, big leakers in the community that have been around for a very long time and have done all this, are saying that Feige and Holland want the street level. Sony are the ones that want the multiverse. If they come to an agreement, just let Marvel have all these Spider-Man villains. Yeah, only Tom wants street level. Feige is clueless. See, I don't think Feige's clueless. I think Feige knows what he's doing with Spider-Man. I think Feige very much does know what he's doing with Spider-Man. Anyway, let's move on to the Spider-Man 4 release date. So this is also interesting. Ties very much into what we were just talking about. This is also coming in for Alex Perez. So Alex Perez on doing the rounds today, right? Alex Perez says that Sony are aiming for a 2025 release date. Now, if they are... Oh, I dropped my phone. If they are, then this film is going to be a mess, right? But I don't think the film will come out in 2025. I think it will come out in 2026, as 24 Bricks says. So yeah, it's very interesting. Will it come out in 2025? No. If it does, it means it's going to have to film, well, within the next few months. And the script isn't ready. So that means it'll be completely rushed. 2025 Christmas, I predict, says Ravenous Puncher. Could happen. But I don't want them to rush this film. The mad thing is, though, if it does come out in 2026, it would have been 5 years since the last Spider-Man film, which is crazy. Live action, should I say. Obviously, not counting Across and Beyond the Spider-Verse whenever Beyond the Spider-Verse comes out. But, yeah, this is very interesting. 2025, apparently, is the aimed release date right now, according to Alex Perez, who, by the way, as we discussed earlier in the stream, is very trustworthy. So, yeah, man, 2025, currently the release date for MCU Spider-Man 4. I hope it changes. I hope it's 2026. I Am Not a Cat says, look at what happened to Marvel, DC, and Star Wars. Are we really surprised by all the stupidity? They have wasted 2 of the fantastic actors for Spider-Man. Why won't they waste Tom Holland too? Well, hopefully they've learned from their mistakes. Spider-Man 4 should 100% be street level. However, like you said, as a compromise, they can somehow do both. It could be cool, but it needs to be street level. Yeah, exactly. Protocol hits the nail on the head. Avengers Endgame was a great ending to the entire MCU. They should have done after Endgame. Conclude trilogies of the characters that they didn't finish. Yeah, they probably should have, yeah. I don't think Feige is the guy he claims to be. He's just a calculator for money, says Hughes and Brown Studios. 2025 release date is almost impossible now. Not literally, but they definitely need to take their time with it. They definitely do. Yeah, we all give way too much credit. I don't see Spider-Man 4 coming out in 2025. They could release a trailer, but in mid-August, and then release it in November. This is the thing. I don't see it happening either, but that's what is being lined up. They probably want to not only set up Secret Wars and Kang Dynasty with it, but also want 2025 to be the big 3, Spider-Man 4, Superman, and Batman 2. How cool would that be? That would be very, very cool. But I also think it's dumb releasing it in 2025. You know, we're living in a time now, we're almost in a recession, right? Not to get political, but as far as my political knowledge goes, I'm pretty sure we're heading to a recession. I'm pretty sure, right? Like we're heading to a time where people barely have any money, right? Especially in the UK, right? I'm from the UK, cost of living crisis, right? Not to get political, but after COVID, no one has any money anymore, right? You know, some people are struggling very, very much. So people go to the cinema on an odd occasion nowadays to see a movie that they really, really want to see. If they're, 2025 is packed with Superman Legacy, Batman 2, Spider-Man 4. What else is coming out? 2025. Is that Garfield movie coming out in 2025? So much coming out. Loads is coming out in 2025. I don't know. It's this year has got nothing, right? This year's barely got any good movies. Maybe Venom 3. I don't know. Next year, superhero movies galore, right? And then 2026, it kind of dies off a little bit more. It's like people can't afford to go to the cinema that many times, so they're all gonna hurt each other financially if they come out the same. It'd be smarter to just push MCU Spider-Man 4 back to 2026, probably make more money because people are gonna go see the first Superman movie in 11 years, and then also make a better movie. Come on, you know what I'm saying? Let's go. I can live in the UK too, and I can confirm this, says Super Warrior. Exactly. I live in the UK since 24 breaks. I really want my heating on. Exactly. I'm freezing. I'm wearing a hoodie. I can't put my heating on. Right? That's what I'm saying. The UK is already in a recession, my friend, says Protocol. Exactly. It is. Man, I can't afford to go see 10 superhero movies in 2025. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's this thing. So, either way, let's move on to Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 4, right? Let's move on to Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 4. Now, I love the Sam Raimi trilogy, as you guys know. You guys probably love it too. The Sam Raimi Spider-Man 4, it's on the horizon, right? Now, we've talked about Andrew Garfield coming back. We've talked about Multiverse and MCU Spider-Man 4. I bet everyone's sick of me talking about Andrew and Tobey coming back. But, however, Spider-Man 4 with Tobey Maguire, Sam Raimi, is on the horizon. According to Thomas Hayden Church, which obviously is the Sandman actor from Spider-Man No Way Home, and of course, Spider-Man 3. Before we get into that, though, I want to urge you guys to subscribe if you haven't already to the channel, because this is, obviously, we do this show every single week, and also I post Spider-Man videos twice a week as well. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I want to urge you guys to, keep updated with the videos. Either way, let's move on. Spider-Man 4. Yeah, apparently it's coming back. According to Thomas Hayden Church, everyone, apparently Thomas Hayden Church says he thinks Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 4 will happen. Now, this is interesting. How we doing? Spider-Man 4 shouldn't exist. In my opinion, Spider-Man 3 should stay as the conclusion, says Trickster. Good point, right? However, Spider-Man 4 is apparently on the horizon, according to Thomas Hayden Church. He says he sees it happening. He sees Sam Raimi making it with Tobey Maguire, which I thought was interesting. Does this mean he has any insider information to Sony or Marvel? Does he kind of know what's going on? Because he also mentioned in the interview with comicbook.com that he did, where he said this. He said that basically he was signed on for MCU Spider-Man 4. So, not MCU Spider-Man 4, Jesus Christ. He was signed on for Spider-Man 4, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 4, before it got cancelled. He was signed on. So does this mean he's got insider information? Probably not. But I thought it was interesting that he thinks that Spider-Man 4 will happen. I'm sure if it does happen, he'd love to return. But let's just ponder this idea. If Spider-Man 4 does... Actually, we're going to end that poll. Before we move on, I want to ask you guys, do you want Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 4? Like, this is a genuine question. Do you guys want Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 4? Because do people even want it anymore? You know what I mean? Like, people want TASM 3, but do people want Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 4? So, Super Warrior says, turn the ads off. I'd love to, but I do this full time now, so I kind of can't. I'm sorry. I know I don't do that. I like to say I don't do this for the money because I love what I do, but I low-key do as well. Well, no, I don't. I'm digging myself a hole. Someone throw me a ladder. I don't do this purely for the money. I do. Jesus Christ, Lewis. No, what I'm saying is I do this full time, so I can't turn the ads off. But I love doing this first and foremost. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm sorry. I put them on conservative, okay? I didn't put them on high, or there's not a lot of them, okay? Honesty's the best policy, okay? I gotta keep them on. I'm sorry. But yeah, if they do continue the Raimiverse, they should make a legacy sequel directed by someone else who has actually seen the Raimi films, but is making it as a legacy sequel about Mayday or Miles. That's a very interesting take. And you know what? I might agree, even though I think I'd rather Raimi come back. But I think if MCU's... Okay, in the chat, right? In the chat, guys, I want you to know, if Spider-Man 4 does happen, right? Should it be about Mayday Parker? This is a question. Tobey Maguire's old enough. Should it be about Mayday Parker? TASM 3 and Tobey Spider-Man 4 should come after Secret Wars. That's how they work. Protocol says basically you need to live, Lewis. Yeah, basically, I need to live. Let's put it this way: the best to make money thing is what you love. Yeah, exactly. Right. I'm making money doing what I love. You can do what you love and make money. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. But you know, I have to make the money. I mean, who's getting the ads? I'm using free mobile. I never got any. Well, I mean, if you have ad blocker on or whatever, then you won't get ads. So if you got YouTube Premium, then you won't get ads. So, you know, yes and no. Raimi should direct, but Toby's too old, man. Scooper, can we get those claims your friendly neighbor Spider-Man family? Yo, we've already covered that actually. Wet boy, we covered that earlier in the stream. Yeah. We covered that earlier in the stream, but yeah, that is true. That's what Can You Get Toast has been saying, which is pretty cool. Yes, I'm neutral to the idea. Whatever Raimi wants. Said yeah. Phoenix says yes. So we're having a lot of yeses in the chat. So Toby's too old. That says 24 bricks. Yeah, he is too old. But I mean, what about animated Spider-Man Forces Protocol? You know what? I would take it. I don't know. I'd really like a live action one, but one focusing around Mayday Parker. Maybe she's a teenager. Maybe you could age Toby up a bit because I don't think he'd be old enough for Mayday to be a teenager. Unless Mary Jane and Peter had a kid straight after Spider-Man 3, which I doubt. Why does everyone keep saying too old? Do they even know what old is? Yeah, I mean, Toby ain't old. Let's be honest. He's not. He's like 47. That's not even old. Like everyone's saying he's old. That's not even old. Toby has always been too old, so why is it an issue now? Spider-Man 4 should be a movie about Peter mentoring Miles. I mean, he's old enough to be a mentor, but he needs to be Peter Parker first and foremost, but Miles is the second lead. That's fair enough, right? So yeah, Spider-Man 4, interesting. That's why I put it at the bottom of the list, because obviously the bigger news came first. So it was something that was worth talking about, but I don't think it was that big. Venom 3 set photos. Okay, so this is interesting. I'm going to get this up actually real quick, because you guys need to see this. You guys need to see this. So this is a very big talking point, and you guys aren't going to want to miss talking about this, because basically, if you guys don't know, obviously Venom 2 ended with Tom Hardy going to the MCU, wearing this shirt on the screen right now. As you can see, I'll put it in the corner. This is the set photo that we got, right? This is the set photo. I'll move me over. Oh, that's the graphic. There we go. I'll move me over a bit. So Tom Hardy obviously went to the MCU with this costume up, this attire on, and basically he then, obviously in the No Way Home post-credit scene, Venom stayed in the MCU, and then he came back. He's in Mexico right now. And this is a set photo from Venom 3, right? And what's interesting is he's wearing the same outfit. And people are going to say, what's the biggie, Lewis? Who cares? Of course he's wearing the same outfit, because the movie's going to pick up where No Way Home left off. But that's what's interesting, because if Venom 3, if that post-credit scene was just a throwaway post-credit scene to introduce the symbiote into the MCU, then Venom 3 wouldn't start out like this. Venom 3 would start out completely differently. However, the fact that it starts out where No Way Home left off means that Venom 3 is most likely going to be a multiverse movie. Oh my god. Right? So this is big. This is big for Venom 3. Venom 3 is most likely going to deal with the consequences of No Way Home. Obviously, the hive mind tease that we got at the end of Venom 2 as well. This is big. So this is a set photo, obviously. Tom Hardy there in the same attire. This is crazy. People are going to say, oh, this is not too crazy. We've seen that come. But it is, though, because obviously the multiverse is big in, obviously, Hollywood right now, obviously superhero movies. People are going to say they don't want a multiverse, but Venom 3 looks like it's going to be a multiverse movie, or deal with the multiverse. And you know what's even crazier, right? Remember what that Venom 3 plot leak that came out? Do you guys remember that? The Venom 3 plot leak? Do you remember? Do you remember the Venom 3 plot leak? Which was about Venom mentoring a younger Peter Parker, and it was going to somehow connect to Madam Web. Multiverse. I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying. I'm scared for Venom 3, because I hope it doesn't get wrapped into... Because the Venom movies, despite Sony being absolute trash, at least they are the silver lining of stuff that Sony does. If Venom 3 gets wrapped into stuff that Madam Web did, it's over. Toby was practically 25 when he was casted. Andrew was probably 27. Yeah, Andrew was older. Lewis, this picture, Sony call you right now asking you to be in the new Spider-Man movie, not knowing which one. Would you say yes? Oh my god, okay. Right, this is a very, very, very... Yes, of course I would. Yeah. Yeah, of course I would. I think you can't turn down the opportunity, can you? I'm going to delete this now. Oh, actually, no, I'll make it smaller because we're still technically on topic. No, you can't say no, can you? You can't say no. But it's one of those things where... I don't know. It's one of those things, isn't it? Where it's like, which one? Do you want to be associated with Madam Web 2? Probably not. Is that good for your career? Probably not. But no, it'd be fun, wouldn't it? Yeah, sure. You have to say yes. You can't say no. The Gwen Stacy audio drama. Do the members get it early? The members do get it early. Gwen Stacy, if you don't know what I'm talking about, obviously in the corner you can see up in the top right. Gwen Stacy Odyssey, Spider-Gwen Odyssey, should I say, audio drama coming soon. It will be going on my Lewis Fiction channel, but obviously I'm promoting it on here because the members will be getting it early when... before it's released, probably about a week or 2 weeks before it comes out. So you guys are going to be getting it. It's going to be really cool. It's probably one of the best things I've ever written. I'm really proud of it. I can't wait for you guys to hear it, see it, hear it. Yeah, hear it. It's an audio drama. I'm not a big fan of the Venom movies. I just hope that it's the last time we see this version of the character. Yeah, that's a good point actually. But the thing is, there was that thing, wasn't it, a while ago, that the Venom movies are going to be coming to an end after Venom 3. However, I don't think the Venom character will go away. Personally, I think the Venom character will stay. But I think he will stay as a staple of the Sonyverse rather than having his own franchise go on. So kind of like how Iron Man... I can't believe I'm comparing Iron Man to Venom here. But the way Iron Man stayed throughout the MCU after Iron Man 3... Iron Man 3 came out in 2013. The MCU Iron Man's reign came to an end in 2019. That's a full 6 years after Iron Man ended, right? Iron Man should have been gone, but he wasn't, and he stuck around. I think Venom's going to be that to the Sonyverse. I think he'll stay. I think he'll stay for a Spider-Man movie. I think Tom Hardy is inevitably crossing over with one of, obviously, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland, or a Miles Morales in the Sonyverse. I think that's inevitable. Tom Hardy will appear in a Spider-Man movie at some point. I think Tom Hardy will appear in Secret Wars. I think it's inevitable he appears in another Sony movie at some point. It's inevitable, right? It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, and that's my prediction anyway. I think the Venom movies will end, but I think Venom as a character will stay present. I find that hard to swallow, says Hughes and Brown Studios. I agree. I mean, despite the movies being trash, I really do like the character, so I'm okay with that. Talking of the Sonyverse, Lewis, do you even have any hope for Kraven anymore? No. Secret Wars are the end of SSU. Feige likes Tom Hardy's Venom. Hardy's coming to the MCU. Knowing Sony, I can actually see them using Venom the same way Marvel used Iron Man. Yeah, I agree. There should be Simpsons Steamed Hams meme where Super calls Sony Spider-Man Universe. There's obviously no Spider-Man in these films. Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? I know I may sound like a broken record, but I do feel like I'm the only one under the belief that the SSU characters will be coming into the MCU to face Tom Holland after Kraven and Venom 3. Very, very, very important statement, I guess, or question. Statement? It's a statement, isn't it, really? Says Dave. Yeah, it's important to realize that this also may be the case. Obviously, rumors the last few months have all indicated that Sony want to push their characters into the MCU ever so slightly. Obviously, with Amy Pascal, like we talked about last week. Obviously, this news show is every week. Make sure you're subscribed. Like we talked about last week, Amy Pascal wanting Kevin Feige to work on the Miles Morales movie, which is coming out, the live-action one. Is that them trying to force slyly their way into the MCU? Possibly. I think it's inevitable. SSU is bad for MCU Spider-Man. I don't want a list of villains for Spider-Man movies, says Ravenous Puncher. I don't mind that, actually. I think that's a really good idea. I think having villain Spider-Man movies is good if it connects to something. You know, if it builds up, if it's a narrative, right? Not like a cameo fest sort of thing, but what I mean is like on Lewis Fiction, I'm doing Spider-Man Cinematic Universe. I'm not going to gas myself up and saying I'm doing a better job than Sony, but I think anyone could do a better job than Sony, right? It's easy. Sony are ruining Spider-Man villains left, right, and center. Either way, my point is you could make a Spider-Man Cinematic Universe very, very easily. In fact, he's probably the character along with maybe Batman and The Flash, I want to say, probably The Flash and Batman, it's probably the two other characters where you could do this. You can make a cinematic universe around one character. Because you could have a Spider-Man movie. So what I did is I had the Spider-Man movie. Chameleon is the main villain. I then did a spin-off movie with Chameleon and Kraven. I then built Kraven up as the next villain. I then did a Tombstone movie linking back to the Spider-Man movie that I did. I then did an Osborn movie building him up for a future movie. Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 is then going to combine the elements of all the spin-off movies. So Norman Osborn is going to appear in it and start interacting with Peter. Kraven's going to be the main villain. You see how it all connects? And that's what I did over in Lewis Fiction. Because it works. It all interconnects, and that's what Sony should be doing. But they don't have a centerpiece. They don't have a Spider-Man. If they add Miles Morales into the universe, they could center it all around Miles Morales. They could have Venom interact with Miles. They could have Morbius build a Sinister Six with Vulture and then face Miles Morales. They could then do the Spider-Verse. They could do whatever they want, right? And that's the way that it should be structured, like the MCU did, right? So they all built towards Avengers in Phase 1. They all built to Civil War and Age of Ultron through Phase 2. They all built to Endgame and Infinity War through Phase 3. Phase 4, who knows what they're doing. But that see how Phase 4 is considered the worst phase because no one knows what direction they're going? This is exactly what Sony's doing. So, I don't know if they age Miles up a bit. It makes sense because we saw what happened in Far From Home after the blip, so Miles being introduced could work, says Phoenix. If these characters don't come to the MCU, I'd be pretty shocked, to be honest, especially since Feige wants Spidey to be his full potential, faces all of his iconic villains on film. Says Dave, very good point. Please, Marvel and Sony, give me a chance, Rhino in the MCU, and I will give you my account number. Well, Marvel and Sony, if you've heard first, Ravenous Puncher wants Rhino, he will give you money for him appearing. Like, for example, I've heard rumors a while back that Kraven will most likely be set in the MCU in some way, especially with rumors that Kevin Feige wants one of the SSU villains in Spidey 4. Yeah, exactly. There's rumors left, right, and center about this type of thing. All right, I'm going to go take care, Lewis. Bye, Protocol. Have a good evening. Can we get a live stream Spider-Man 2 New Game Plus next week, or are you going to carry on Spider Talk? It will be Spider Talk. It will be Spider Talk. but I might possibly do New Game Plus at some point. If there's a week where there isn't a lot of news, I probably will go and do New Game Plus. Drew Goddard should make his old Sinister Six movie in the MCU. What did I miss? Says Ashron. Not much. Well, actually, no. You missed quite a lot. But we're still talking about the Sonyverse and Venom 3. A bid the set photo here, obviously on the right hand side. Do you think we will ever get a superior Spider-Man movie? Says Phoenix. Yeah, I actually do. I think it's interesting, isn't it? Because it's very, very interesting. I saw a report, a study done a while back now, and it was talking about how long it takes for comic book characters to be adapted into films and stuff. And apparently, from the study that was done, it takes around 10 to 15 years before something from the comics gets adapted into a movie, which I think is a really interesting case study, because that means that things like Superior Spider-Man should start coming into fruition anytime now. We already saw him in Marvel Spider-Man 2017, but I think potentially this could be something that we see at some point in the future. Yeah. Lewis, what's your favorite Marvel superhero other than Spider-Man? Probably Deadpool or Iron Man. Iron Man because of the MCU. Deadpool because of the movies and the I used to have I have a few Deadpool comics, so I'm more comics wise Deadpool, film wise MCU, Iron Man. Speaking of Drew Goddard, I sincerely hope he's one of who directs Spider-Man 4. As much as I personally love John Watts, it's time for a new direction. I agree. I don't know about Drew Goddard, but I think obviously a new director, yeah. I would love to see Insomniac Games tackle more of these movie plots, DLCs in the future games, like a Morbius DLC, Venom vs. Carnage, Madam Web, Spider-Girl. Yeah, I agree. Craven said the MCU might be a little too confusing considering Aaron Taylor-Johnson was previously Quicksilver. Good point. You should rank the Spider-Man suits like how you rank the Spider-Man movies in a video not too long ago. Oh, yeah, I should do that. That's a very good idea. I did a stream on it not too long ago, but obviously that's a very... who's going to sit through a 2-hour stream, right? To see me rank a bunch of suits? No one. So that's a good idea. I'll write that one down. What about Batman? Says Ravenous Puncher. Batman. What about Batman? I forgot what we were talking about. I'm so sorry. There's rumors that Venom 3 will involve Eddie Brock apparently leaping back and forth through the SSU and the MCU, and that Tom Holland and May not will actually have a cameo appearance. Yeah, exactly. And this is what we were talking about just now. Like all these rumors that are circulating about Venom 3 being the multiverse. It just confirms it with this picture. They are picking up where the story left off. I want to see Andrew Garfield come back, says Ice Cream Hero. Me too. Drew Goddard worked on Daredevil. He's leagues better than John Watts, says Ravenous Puncher. Is Andrew related to John Goddard? I don't know. I vote no Toby. His character arc done for what purpose in 4? Well, I mean, it would probably be more of a mentor role. I think if Spider-Man 4 with Tobey Maguire was to happen, then it would probably be he probably wouldn't be the main character. It would probably be Mayday Parker would be the main character. In fact, it probably wouldn't be called Spider-Man 4. It would probably be called Spider-Girl or Mayday Parker Spider-Girl or Spider-Man and Spider-Girl or something along those lines, right? And Toby would be a mentor. How much control does John Watts have? Isn't the MCU notorious for how much micromanage the creatives? Yeah, he does. Well, I think John Watts is respected. I don't think he has the final say, though. Do you think Venom 3 will be the best in the trilogy? Do you have no clue? Yeah, I think it'll be the best in the trilogy. I firmly believe that I think they're going in the right direction. I think they're embracing what the character is, the goofiness of the character, and I think they're embracing what this franchise is doing. So I do think Venom 3 will be the best. An MCU Spider-Man or Sam Raimi Madam Web film would be cool. Yeah, it would be cool. To be honest, if Andrew comes back, it would line up perfectly with what Sony has planned, but they ignore the easiest fix. They do. Phoenix is very right. But either way, let's move on to our final topic of today, which is animated Spider-Woman team-up film / villain team-up film is coming. This is big, right? This is also very big. So basically, I'm just going to get up who leaked this. I think it might be Alex Perez again, but... yeah, this is big as well. So, basically, yep, that's that. I need to get this up because I need to tell you guys who leaked it. But anyway, I'll just start talking about it before I get up. So, basically, what is going on is an animated Spider-Woman team-up film is in the works, apparently behind the scenes. And no, this is not the This is not the animated Spider-Man movie that is already in development, which we are assuming is going to be about Spider-Gwen or Jessica Drew. We're not entirely sure, but this is something different. So this is something this is something separate from that Spider-Man movie that we already know is happening. Which, good or bad, it's happening. It's going to be a Spider-Woman team movie. So it's going to kind of be like the A-Team, but for Spider-Women. And it's going to be... And I assume it will be following Spider-Verse characters. We don't exactly know that, but we assume it will be. I'm just trying to pull up who leaked it right now. I will tell you guys in just a second. But it is very, very interesting. And I think it's from Alex Perez. I believe it's from Alex Perez. Yeah, it's Alex Perez. So, yeah, not only that, but also apparently a animated villain team-up film is also in the works at Sony Pictures. I mean, do we want an animated Spider-Man multiverse universe thing? I don't know. It sounds like Sony are seeing the success of the Spider-Verse films and are going, hey, you know what we should do? We should make 1 million spin-off animated Spider-Man movies. That's what it seems they're doing. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this. The animated Spider-Woman team-up film, I'm down for. I think that sounds cool. I'm more teetering on the edge of I don't want the Spider-Woman team-up film only because of the Spider-Gwen movie that is apparently in works. I'd rather have a solo Spider-Woman movie than just the animated one. But I'm more on board with that one than the villain. The villain team-up? Nuh-uh. Nope. Not doing it. Sony have ruined so many villains. I don't want them to ruin it in live action. And no doubt, Phil Lord and Chris Miller will not be on board. No doubt. They won't be. They can't be. I reckon they don't have to be on the Spider-Verse. I don't think they're going to make any more. I think they're going to want to end their story. And I don't know. What do you guys think? So, let me... First poll. Here we go. Do you want an animated Spider-Woman team-up film? I'm assuming it's going to be the Across the Spider-Verse or Beyond the Spider-Verse characters when whoever's at the end of that film. Sony need to do what Lewis said they should do in his Fixing the Sonyverse video. Yeah, they should. They should very much do that. I'm just waiting for the Disney sues Sony for a hostile takeover of Spider-Man. I wouldn't mind a spin-off of animated Spider-Man movies because of the multiverse. They don't even need to be connected. But I don't think that's the issue. The issue, I think, in my opinion, is that I think Sony are greenlighting these projects because they've seen how successful Across the Spider-Verse is. Which is like proper mind-blowing to me. Sony thinks they could make Suicide Squad, yeah, Spider-Verse to Secret Wars build-up, Spider-Verse to Secret Wars build-ups. I mean, possibly, yeah. What if it's about Spider-Man's D-list villains as a movie? I mean, I don't know. That could be interesting, I guess. It just depends how well they handle it. Where is even Andrew Garfield coming back? Well, so if you've missed the start of the stream, basically, Andrew Garfield, according to Alex Perez, 100% said is coming back, not for TASM 3, but will have his story be continued at some point in the future, which is interesting. Didn't Kevin Feige tell Sony when Venom 1 was being made not to get carried away with all these unnecessary spin-offs? Yeah, probably. I like the spin-offs, and Spider-Verse ideas are infinitely fun for me as long as they don't stop people from making the more grounded Spider-Man projects. That's a good point. As long as we still get the good Spider-Man movies, like the Spider-Verse movies, I'm game. Yeah, so I don't know. The poll is very 50-50 right now. 56% yes, 44% no. This is interesting then. I'm going to end this poll relatively early, and I'm going to ask you guys a different question. I don't think anyone wants this animated team-up villain film, but I'm going to ask a question. Do you want a Spider-Gwen / Spider-Woman, splash Spider-Woman, because it could be about Jessica Drew, solo animated film, right? Let's see. How many of you guys want this? Let's see. Have you ever read Superior Foes of Spider-Man comic that could be the villain in the movie? Maybe. I've never read that, no. I think the other plausible animated team-up movie would be an adaptation of Amazing Foes of Spider-Man. I'd love to see that run adapted. I could see Andrew coming back in Venom 3. I mean, he said he wanted to fight an alien. That's true. Could possibly be Venom 3. what I really want is a 2099 movie. I don't think 2099 works on his own. I think he works because he's a very intimidating threat to Miles. That's interesting, though. Maybe. Spider-Woman film connected to the Spider-Verse? No, not connected. Yes. Speaking of Spider-Gwen, though, I'm just going to plug again the Spider-Gwen Odyssey audio drama coming soon to LewisFilms. Make sure to subscribe to this channel. All the updates are coming this way as well. You're not going to want to miss that when it comes out. It's going to be awesome. One of the best things I've ever written. I'm really proud of it. And Spider-Gwen has never had a solo thing not connected to the Spider-Verse. An adaptation, should I say. So that's why I wanted to do this. And hopefully it'll turn out relatively well. Hopefully you guys will like it. But either way, yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? It's a great comic about Shocker and Spider-Man's other D-list villains. I think you'd like it. I've never read it. No, I'm trying to expand my horizons as well because I've read loads of Spider-Man comics, way too many to count. But obviously, I want to expand my horizons. I want to make videos on different comics. So yeah, suggest some to me, and I'll you know. Honestly, Romantic Avocado, welcome to the chat. Honestly, they could probably make a whole movie about Harry Osborn's descent to the Green Goblin. They probably could, you know, they probably could. I want both solo story for Noir 2099. Really interesting take, says Eddie. So most of you guys do want a Spider-Woman movie, which is interesting, but most of you don't want the team-up movie. So I think that's really interesting. So that says more about what Sony are trying to do rather than what we actually want as fans. We do want a Spider-Woman movie. We do want a Gwen Stacy film. But do we want it to be a team-up, or do we want it to be focused more on the solo character? Maybe Jessica Drew, maybe Gwen Stacy, as we said. In regards to Miles Morales, it's pretty obvious that he'll be introduced in the MCU, but I think it would be a bit too soon to show him in Spider-Man 4. I disagree. I think it'd be too soon to show him with powers in MCU Spider-Man 4, but I think... yeah, they should hold off, really. But if they do show him without the powers, it's not the end of the world for me. Not related to Spider-Man, but what's the best place in the UK? I live in Liverpool, says 24 Bricks. The best place in the UK is London, without any doubts in my mind. I live pretty near to Liverpool, actually. I live near Stoke-on-Trent, which is... people won't know where that is, but it's one of the worst cities in the country. But yeah, no, I live near Liverpool, but it's London's definitely the best place in this country that I've been. People will say London isn't that great. I think London's amazing. It's mint. They could make Harry Venom in the MCU. I think there should be an If This Be My Destiny movie based on the story by Ditko. That could be pretty cool. I mean, they already adapted the If It Be My Destiny thing from in Homecoming, didn't they? So, you know what would be a good Spider-Man movie? The Ultimate Spider-Man comics. Are you talking about the Hickman one or the Bendis one? I think what Sony should have done for their villain-based hero universe is make the main antagonist an evil Spider-Man. It doesn't need to be Peter Parker in that case. They would want to introduce him. London has a lot of crazy stuff there, says Baggins. Yeah. You ever been Forbidden Planet? I have been to Forbidden Planet. I've been there many times. It's where I got most of these from. Most of the pop figure things. Mostly from Forbidden Planet, which is quite cool. If you're looking at more Spider-Man comics, I recommend ASM 578 and 579. They have Shocker in it. I think I've read them. Aren't they a part of... I don't want to butcher this, so I'm not going to say what I think they're a part of. But I have read... I read it in runs, you see, so I don't read it chronologically. I only read it chronologically in the recent comics that come out from like Spencer onwards. I've read it chronologically, but most of the time I kind of just go back and forth to runs. Like I'll go to JMS, or I'll go to Bendis, or I'll go to Lee, Conway, Slot. You know what I mean? I'll just kind of jump all over the place depending on what I want to read. What's up, Lewis? How's your day going? Going very well. How about you? But yeah, Bendis is that how you say his name? Lol. Bendis, Brian Michael Bendis, Benz. Yeah, Liverpool's best because of the Beatles. Enough said, says Hughes and Brown Studios. The Beatles did come from there. So if the MCU can't get Eddie as Venom, they should get Michael Mando to play Matt Gargan and possibly make him the host of the symbiote. Yeah. Well, it's Bendis. Oh, I know it's Bendis. Did I say it too quickly? Did I sound like I was saying Benz? No, yeah, Brian Michael Bendis. Bendis, not Benz. Bendis. Do I say it fast? Bendis? Do I sound like I'm saying Benz? No, Bendis. If they could make a Wolf Spider-Man from Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon, the main antagonist, I would Oh, I was talking to the other guy. Okay, sorry. I do speak quite quickly. I do mispronounce things all the time as well. I'm like, yeah. I would like to see the Clone Saga or Spider Island in the MCU. It would be insane. I'm curious how they would use it. Yeah, I am as well. Yeah, Bendis Ultimate Spider-Man comic as a movie. That would be pretty cool. I mean, that's already been adapted though, hasn't it, really? The Amazing Spider-Man movies being a massive thing with them. But either way, yeah, that's pretty much it for today's news show. Thank you guys very much for watching once again. I always love these live streams, interacting with all of you guys. It's always a pleasure. But yeah, today, obviously, streaming on a Monday, I got the Lego Daily Bugle. I do got the Lego Daily Bugle. How did you know? How did you know I got the Lego Daily Bugle? That's really weird. Oh wait, hold on a minute. It's in loads of my older videos. That's probably how you know. Or is that a question? Sorry, it looked like a statement. W stream says Ashwin. Well, thank you very much. Yeah. So, obviously we're gonna be here 7 p.m. UK time next Tuesday. Obviously today's a Monday because my girlfriend's birthday is. Oh, you were asking? No, Bendis Baggins said, "Are you asking?" Yeah, I've got it. Yeah, I have. Yeah, okay. Anyway, yeah, my girlfriend's birthday's tomorrow, which is why we stream today. But all you guys, actually, would you be able to wish my girlfriend Holly happy birthday in the chat? I'll show her this stream. I'll clip it back to her. I'm sure she'd very appreciate it if you guys said happy birthday. But it's her birthday tomorrow. Holly, her name's Holly. It's her 21st birthday, so she's getting old now. She's the same age as me. Yeah. But either way, that's it for today's stream. We haven't got many. We've pretty much covered everything. Thank you guys. I do appreciate that. Are you still gonna have your Lewis News channel or just streams? I am not doing Lewis News anymore because I felt like it was probably easier to do this, and also I get to interact with you guys at the same time. So, Spider-Man fan with a girlfriend. Tell me how you did this. Happy birthday! That's all nice. Thanks, guys. I'm sure she'll really appreciate that. I do appreciate that. That's awesome from you guys. You guys are amazing. Yeah, I'll clip this back to her and show her. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Yeah, it's been a really good stream. Hopefully we will see you guys here next Tuesday, 7 p.m. UK time, for another stream. Hopefully lots of news comes out. We got more updates regarding MCU Spider-Man 4. Hopefully more confirmation on the Andrew Garfield stuff will come out as well, so we can talk about that. Any more updates on obviously Spider-Man 4, TASM 3, the animated Spider-Man stuff that's coming out, Venom 3, I'll be covering it as well. Once again, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Obviously we post Spider-Man content all week, every week. And also, I'm going to plug once again in the top left-hand corner, right-hand corner of the screen, Spider-Gwen Odyssey, audio drama coming soon, updates on the channel. You're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be awesome. So thank you very much. And I appreciate you guys. You're awesome. And I'll see you next week. Take care.